Okay, so if you look at the complex Genentech, right? They have an advanced system of shuttle buses, ride sharing, whatever. Like they worked out so that the employees don't need a car. But those are all just people that are smart enough to be good drivers, probably, and they have nice cars too. They just don't need a car to get to work. That ferry, they got the ferry boat. Forgot about that. A ferry shuttle in the bay. So you can live anywhere in the Bay Area. You don't have to drive to work. You can work on the shuttle. You start setting up your little office, it's already in the shuttle on the ferry boat. Okay, so then you look down not look down, what do you call it? You scale back, right, to like Walmart, right? Everybody's gotta have all their smog check and tags, and they have to do every little annoying little thing to keep themselves relevant, to keep themselves mobile. And all of those little annoying, like all those little things, right, that it seems to have to do is to keep things the way they are, really. It's like we would think like, why don't they have shower stalls for homeless people where they could put 50 cents and get a terry cloth, cheesecloth or whatever, like a little square towel, and just dry it off, right? You strip the oils and then you could go apply for a job, right? They give them a little locker. Oh, keep some nice clothes in the little locker. You could still sleep outside. You just be clean. Why don't they do that? And it's because the fucking people at City Hall need a certain status quo of homeless people. They are a commodity now. It's to keep things consistent to the way that they are, to keeping things consistent to how they are. Not why don't they do this or do that? Why don't they have, or why don't they, if they care or anything like this? None of that. It's a status quo, and certain cities will invite homeless people while other cities will push them to the edge of town. Okay? It's not, it's because they want to know what you're doing there. So why are you, you know what I'm saying? They want to know why you're here. Like, the cop will easily just forget that they don't have the right to just go asking people questions like, yo, who are you? Like, where are you from? They forget that. But I mean, don't give them an excuse to forget. Don't look like trash. And fucking you'll find homeless people all the time that are neat and clean and meticulous and shit. And they get drugged down by how everything else looks and how their things were, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's weighing on them. They're getting mad, whatever, then they get loaded too. It's to keep things the way they are. Just people that don't want to invest in themselves any knowledge, they get mad at the dollar. And whoever it is that they is controlling it, they say, why don't you let this dollar stay the same? Stop fucking with the value of my dollar. But they're like, as long as you only have a dollar to use it, as long as you only have a dollar that you can use, then we have to weigh the capital against you. There's all these other forms of capital. You just need to work out the network of ramps that you can offboard and onboard from one form of currency to another, and a risk averse strategy to manage your bags, custody and security and risk aversion and these kind of things. If you're thinking about all that shit, then somebody who's telling you to focus on keeping the dollar the same value they can't relate at all. Your job has never been to do that. It's like the police's job has never been like their oath is not is to protect policies on jurisdictions, and that they have policies that where property destruction or citizens, they within these policies they protect them. They don't just protect every ass motherfucking citizen. You might be the danger for one thing, then they might gotta shoot your ass. How are they supposed to protect you if their size if there's something, a discrepancy or an idiosyncrasy, then you have to clear it up, right? And it was like, oh fuck them, they're assholes and everything, but then don't pay taxes then. Oh, we have to pay taxes. Uh, nah. This is like you could say taxes legalize theft and you have to pay taxes. But somebody else might say it's not legalized theft and they're willing to pay taxes because they're making a lot of money. Or somebody might not care and don't pay taxes because you're a peon. Or they might know how to work the system too. There's not anything really wrong with working the system. You know what I mean? Like they have a certain amount of businesses that are there to do nothing else but fail, so they can write off a certain amount of tax losses, and they're just moving it around. They're just moving value around, moving liquidity, trying to because liquidity comes in different forms, and you have to take it and change it into another form of liquidity. It's just you're just commuting the liquidity, and whatever the nature of the liquidity is, that describes how it can be either moved around or how it sits, how it can hold on to its value itself. So it's like you're getting a certain type of exposure from it, and it dispensates or allows the value to be dispensated into the forms of capital that you want to use or need to use. And it could just stay the same for everybody else at what it is, and it's just a certain way that some people gain from it and some people don't really gain from it that much. So if we already known all this shit, I still think that it's like, if I make an analogy, there's going to be some normal people that's going to think that I'm talking about them too. And then there's going to be some, there has to be a way for them to figure it out, right? That who I mean, right? Because it's the full bore. It's like the full on bore of like, and then that's just a person that you're supposed to set to cut out, and then everybody already know that too. You wouldn't want to hear about it anymore. So I said this show's gonna stall out. So like specialized channels, then maybe a suppository for specialized channels for people who don't know what they're looking for yet. And I can help a lot of people out with that because I know a lot of how to refine searches down a little bit. I'm actually lying, and I'll just do whatever. You know what I mean? Like this could be a ploy too.